It's raining outside. So I was recently asked the question, does rain or water actually matter when it comes to a house? What could it do? What's the process if something goes wrong? And the reality is, water gets into everything. Water likes to flow downhill, and it can fit through little tiny pinholes, get into places it shouldn't be. When it comes to your home, it's not a good thing. The reality is, it goes in and it doesn't just dry and disappear. You might think it dries and disappears and don't have to think about it or worry about it. But water is the essence of life, and we all need it to survive. That includes the plants and the funguses and the mold that's growing in your house. Water, when it gets into those little crevices, has the potential to rot wood. It has the potential to destroy your drywall's integrity. It has the ability to mess up your wires. They can cause a lot of damage. And to let water sit there is not a good thing. That's why in bathrooms we have fans to get rid of the humidity and drains to remove the water. And it's a special process to make it a water-safe place. There's a lot that goes into it. And if it goes untreated, and mold is a big one, because mold doesn't need much to grow, similar to a mushroom, it's a fungus. And there's different types of mold, but they love your drywall. They love eating your drywall. They love to grow in humid places. It doesn't need too much. It needs a little bit of warmth. And your house is usually warmer than outside. And then it needs some humidity, and the water provides that. Once water heats up to evaporate and dry, it creates the perfect environment to grow. It may not happen a day or two later, but left untreated, it's gonna destroy your home. It's gonna grow. And when mold grows, and just like any other living thing, it's gonna wanna repopulate, and it's gonna wanna spread, and it creates these spores that could go into the rest of your home and break off. The issue with that is those spores flow through the air and can end up in your lungs. And if they end up in your lungs and get into your body, they can make you really sick, and that's no fun. And it could cause health problems. Some people are more sensitive to it than others. Now, when we do construction on homes, you have bathrooms and kitchens that are water places within a home. There's always water there. You're taking a shower or a bath. You have a sink and a dishwasher in your kitchen. So those are high places that mold could happen. Now, what do I do when I see mold? I say, hey, there's mold there, but am I an expert? No, I don't own a laboratory, and I don't hold any degrees or specialties to tell me about mold. So we call in a laboratory to come and do a mold test. It's a third-party lab. Why? So that there's no conflict of interest. They come in and they test the spots for mold. What spots have mold, and then they take it back to the laboratory and they give you this whole 30+ page report about which mold is there, where does it stem from, and how to, and kind of a breakdown of the process of getting rid of it. The reality is, after that, we hire a third-party company to do a remediation, a mold remediation. Why is it a third-party company? Because it doesn't really make sense if I'm the guy saying we have to destroy everything to get rid of the mold, and also be the guy to say, hey, now we got to pay to fix it. That's kind of off-putting. So a third-party company is hired to come in and actually remove the mold from the house. They put up these plastic barriers, they put in these machines, negative air machines with HEPA filters to catch all the spores from the air. They bag up everything that needs to be demoed. They double bag it and tie it because it's a biohazard, it's full of mold. And then they treat the area. But now when they're done, they want to make sure that they're done. They bring in a third party, that laboratory again, to come back and do a clearance test to show that the mold is no longer there and that the mold has been removed from the home. Now listen, there's always going to be a little bit of mold. You know, there's mold on your front doorstep. So some mold is not the end of the world. It's more like when it gets to certain levels that become harmful. And that's why you want the laboratory report to say, is it considered bad mold? You know, you put salt on your food. A lot of doctors say, don't do salt, but a little bit is necessary or okay. Nothing's gonna happen to you. It's the same thing when it comes to mold levels in your home. It follows the same idea. So this third-party company laboratory comes in, does the mold test. A third party comes in and does the remediation, and then that laboratory comes back to do a clearance test to show that it's no longer there, and congratulations, your house no longer has mold, and we could go ahead and continue with the repairs.